Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we're looking at Food Wars Season 3, Arc 2, the Train Arc, I'm going to call it because it's got a really long name. And, if you guys went on Mal, before it was down. Well, Mal's back up, but, this is way back when Food Wars Season 3, Arc 2 started, essentially. This title confused the hell out of a lot of people. And it wasn't just me. It was a lot of people. Because Mal originally had it where it was like Season 4, and then they changed it to Season 3, and then they had it where Season 3 Arc 2, and it just becomes this huge title that's like... So I've been calling it Train Arc, essentially, the whole time, because it is basically a train arc. It was meant to be the concept of trains. I mean, the opening is with trains and characters that look like they're about to fight in a battle arena. But, what was really cool about Season 3 is that the last couple episodes were awesome. The Team Shokugeki idea, I was thinking that would be amazing. I was thinking that would probably be the strongest point of Food Wars for me, and it so far is being awesome. That's the one thing I'll say about it. Last two episodes I actually watched today, and because Season 3 Arc 2 ended today, but the last two episodes I caught up with finally today. And the thing is that I was so happy with the results of it. Like Ishiki, for example, winning against it, and you learned his backstory too in the prior episode, and then having Soma versus that one girl who makes soba. Having him come out as a victory in that, or excuse me, having his team now come out of dual victory essentially for the first round of the Team Shokugeki was really cool. And that's one thing that I really enjoyed about this whole, I want to say, starting for Team Shokugeki, because from what I heard, this is from the manga readers, it's going to be a long arc of this Team Shokugeki. It's supposed to last a while. And that kind of makes sense. I mean, we have, almost 10 opponents on each side or something like that, or maybe slightly less, but, it's going to be where all the battles are going to be facing them, and I think they're going to be intuitive episodes where they're going to be focusing on these characters rather than just going, oh, let's just have an episode, show a quick thing of who won and who lost. We're going to have episodes I feel like are focused on the battles and the actual cooking elements of it. So, I could see that being several episodes alone. So I'm thinking Season 4, if it is a Season 4 Food Wars, we'll have this, Team Shokugeki focus for the whole thing. If not, we could get an Arc 3, a Part 3 of, or excuse me, a Core 3, if anything, of Season 3. So we'll see what happens with that. But anyways, this is not really to analyze the last couple episodes. This is to analyze the whole arc, if you want. Food Wars for me, and it's something I actually was just talking to my friend about, where Food Wars Season 1 was probably one of the best things in the world for me. I loved Season 1. I think it was just so awesome. I love the characters. I love the concept. I love how every episode was just something of a surprise. Like, you didn't know what would happen. You didn't see what was happening. Season 2 of Food Wars, it wasn't bad. It was good. I liked it a lot. It still had a lot of the oomph that Season 1 had, but it felt a little weaker. And then Season 3 Arc 1, which was the whole, I want to say the whole weird thing where they had the, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, it was the festival stuff and all that. It really wasn't that powerful to me. Like, it wasn't horrible. I didn't dislike it, but at the same time, it wasn't something that really oomphed me, and I feel like in many ways, the series has kind of declined a little bit. It's not in a straight line, like, oh, it's going from, top to, all the way down the bottom. It's going from more like a hill type thing where it's going up and down, almost like a graph, or like a what's this type of graph, like a polygraph, for example. If you ever seen it, it goes like spikes up and down. That's Food Wars for me. Like, it started off with a big spike, then kind of went down a little bit, spiked up a little bit, then went down, and it has been steadily kind of just average for me. And it's not that that's a bad thing per se. I mean, shonens always can have that kind of samey feeling where you're always gonna watch a shonen and be like, oh, after 100 episodes of it, you'll start understanding that some things are not going to change. Like, for Food Wars, that it's going to be battles between cooks. It's going to be this or that. Most likely the main character is going to win. But that's the thing that was really cool about Season 2 and even Season 1, where you didn't know the main characters who were going to win or lose. You didn't know who these people were. Sorry, my nose itches. But you didn't know what was going to happen. It was always a surprise. And Season 3, Arc 1, really didn't do any of that. It was okay at best. The OVAs, if you include them, were not too bad, but they felt like they were just side episodes that you needed to watch because they actually did fill in stories that it was weird. I think the OVA for the OVAs in general for Food Wars were kind of strange because they felt like they could have been episodes for a season, yet they were pulled into OVA status where if you didn't watch them, you were lost when I think it was Season 2 started, or even the second, or excuse me, Season 3 when it started, and you were like, what who's this guy? What happened? Who are these people? And I hate when shows do that, because it's like you shouldn't have to watch an OVA to understand story elements to me. It's like a big thing with me, but it is what it is. But with this whole, train arc, with this whole thing of the Team Shokugeki idea and the concepts of, Soma and his friends now being rebels at the academy, it's really been a cool thing, because we haven't seen a lot of this stuff since season 1. And now it's being executed just the same as season 1, and I'm really happy about that. I've enjoyed every episode. I've enjoyed always having this kind of surprise of, what's going to happen next. I was worried for the first couple episodes, because the first couple episodes seemed very formulaic, and I was like, oh man, I hope it doesn't fall into that again. But no, it went out of that format. It went like, we had the first several episodes being the same like always, but then it went changed the whole thing up with the whole rebel concept and Team Shokugeki near the end. All that stuff. It was really well done, and I really enjoyed it. In terms of just story, so the story was on par with Food Wars, this arc. I love the animation. The animation looked a lot better than I think even the prior seasons. And I'm not saying everything was done better, but just had a stronger feel to it in general. I mean, even when the characters' clothes are exploding and you saw the references to other anime and other jokes and all this, it looked really good, and I really enjoyed it. And for the most part, other things I enjoyed also was just the fact that, Food Wars took itself very serious with the season. It made it so it's like these characters now have more backstories and have more hearts than ever before. But it didn't, degrade what made the show so funny at times and comical at other times, and kind of kept this shonen feel to it. And that's one thing that I was kind of worried about, because when I thought, oh man, you're gonna have Soma versus like everyone in the school, for example, in terms of like they hate him now. I'm like, oh man, don't do that with this character, because he's a goofy character. He's supposed to be the upbeat guy that even when he seems like he's depressed or he's like deep in thought, he's still goofy and just comical. He's take things seriously when he has to, but at the same time he knows how to have fun. And I was worried that the rebel stuff would change his character and maybe other characters too. But no, it didn't do that. It actually added a lot of elements to these characters. Soma has definitely risen up as a character. What's her name? Erina has definitely become this character who I don't dislike as much as the first season, or even the second one for that matter. She has more of a heart to her, because you find out more about her father last season, and obviously with this season how they treated her. Even with Soma's father, we got his backstory, and I loved his backstory. I think that whole arc with talking about how he got, I think, pressured by the community and food to keep making great dishes, and it caused him to start losing his love for food. But even more than that, it caused him to go and feel like he had to constantly find something better. He had to constantly do this better, make this better, and it made him want to go away from the school. And obviously that's what he did. But it gave a lot of heart to these characters, this arc, and that's one thing I really enjoyed about it. But overall, my whole enjoyment of Food Wars Season 3, Arc 2, or, Train Arc, I'm going to call it, was actually really cool. I really enjoyed it. I think it was, not perfect. It had some issues in the beginning to me, but for the most part, it was pretty damn good. That's why if I had to review Food Wars Season 3, Arc 2, which is Train Arc, between an A through F, I'm going to give it a solid B+. I think it deserves that. Anyways, what did you guys think about this whole food arc? What do you think is going to happen in the next Team Shokugeki? That's probably sometime in the far future. Let me know in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. God bless you all. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.